this is Jamie. I want to welcome you to my channel today. I hope you're all doing well and staying safe. Hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving and are getting ready for December. I know that it's just a hop, skip, and a jump and away we go off to the holiday. So I wanted to try to get this video out to you guys as quickly as I could. One of the videos we wanted to do for the November Mad Tea Party was the color palette challenge. I'll put the little thumbnail on the screen, and each one of me and my co-hosts were selected to do a color palette, and they were at random, and I really wanted to film mine for you. And I think Crafty Mama Bear did do hers. She did a mandala and she answered the Alice tag questions. I want to thank all those that have participated in the Alice in Wonderland tag. I've been watching your videos, and all your videos have been put in the playlist. I'll link the playlist down below. If you have not done this tag and you want to do the tag, it doesn't take very long because there's only, I think, 11 questions. You can go ahead and do it. If you want to do it and it's December, that's fine too. We understand this month went by super fast, and oh my goodness, we had such a response for the November Mad Tea Party. It's just been absolutely incredible, and so many stunning pictures. It's just unbelievable. I would wake up, get on Instagram while I'm eating my breakfast in the morning, and there was all these new posts of all these awesome, beautiful pictures that were all by you guys. And yeah, I want to thank everyone for participating. And I'm sorry I didn't get this out sooner. At first we posted like weekly, and I think there was a little bit of confusion. It was basically when we could do it, but mine was supposed to be like the first week, and I'm like, there's no way I could do it the first week. And then it became like a madhouse, and then all of a sudden a month was almost over. It was just crazy. So I'll pull up the color palette right here for you so you can see what color palette I was randomly selected for. And I will show you the markers and things that I've selected. I'm going to be coloring out of this book, Steampunk Revival by R.J. Hampson, because he's one of my focus artists of the year 2025, and I haven't done enough work in his books. And it was kind of hard to find my exact marker colors because I don't have a full set of oh-hoo-hoos. I kind of have what's left of the 120, and then I have other random sets of markers. So I kind of have a selection of different marker sets where I had to pull colors. And from the oh-hoo-hoo line, the darkest color that was on the bottom, I'm going to use the BG7. It's like a forest green that has a blue tint to it. So I think that will work. From my Arteza Everblend markers, I'm going to use this BG57. It's called Winter Green for that light turquoisey blue color. It's like a cyan color. This isn't exactly what I want, but I didn't have any. This is the closest I could find. And so I'm hoping it works, but it's more, the color is more like this Prisma color pencil, which is the aqua, light aqua. So I pulled this pencil to go along with this marker because this is a little bit lighter than that. So I think it will be okay. For the pink, I pulled the oh-hoo-hoo Hollyhock, and I think this is part of the pastel collection. It's RV 180. For the red, I have the How To art marker, and it's the R218. So if you're in your oh-hoo-hoos, it's not the darkest red, but I think it's like the next shade before the darkest red. And I don't have any more of those. And then for the yellow, I picked this one from Ohuhu, which is the primary yellow, which is YR6. I think it's supposed to be a little yellower than this, but I'm running low on all my yellow markers in every set of markers. So I just did the best I could, and I got some things to kind of go with it. So with the yellow, I'm going to use, these are Prismacolor pencils. I'm going to use Deco Yellow to give it more of a yellowy yellow. And then for a darker shade or undertone, I'm going to use the yellow ochre. And if you want to do this on your page, you can as well. And like I said, I'm going to use this light aqua to help me out with that cyan color shade. I have my white. This is what I have left of my white. And I went on Amazon to see if I could just order a box of white. You can't. And if you buy one individually, it's really expensive. And then I went on Blick and they wanted all this money just to send me some white pencils. So yeah, I need some white pencils from Prisma. I'm almost out. My other one, I have another one. It's only this big and it crumbles. And so yeah, that's not very good. For my pink, I have this one, which is hot pink. And I think this would complement the pink pretty well. And for my red, I have a darker tone, which is the Tuscan red, and crimson red for the lighter tone. So if I want to do some shading or shadowing or something, I can do that. And then this is my alternate that I'm adding in. It's 90% warm gray. I didn't want black because I feel like a lot of the colors here are warmer colors, except for, I guess, the blue greens, turquoisey colors. Those are kind of cool. And I thought that this would make a good overall shadowing color, and I can change the pressures if I need to. And I do have lighter colors like the white and that yellow that I can use to pop up other colors. And then the paint marker that I selected is the Artistro brush marker. These are brand new. You can buy these by themselves. You can buy 2 white Artistro brush markers, or you can buy black. They look like that. And they also sell gold on Amazon. And all I needed was some white and black ones, but I was able to get these and I really like them. You shake them and it has a brush tip. So anywho, yeah. And the page that I selected was one that I selected to color in the first place for this month. And it's this one right here. And I'm thinking I want to go with the white side, not the dark one, just because of the color choices I have. And I'm going to try to make this be the white rabbit, like he's going to unlock Wonderland. And it has a heart. It has kind of like a heart here. We have keyholes, and we have like a clock here, and a key, and obviously the rabbit counts for the wild year of color. And if I can get it done, we can get it done before the end of the month. And if I need to get anything really small to get into some details, I may pull some of my Langu gel pens, which are these actually. Let me just see if we can just find our colors real quick in my little stash. I have the folder too, the little folder deal. That looks pretty close. It might be a little light. That one's a little bit more. So this yellow, and our turquoise is like this, but it's lighter. And I don't, yes I do. I have this one. yeah, we can use this one for our light turquoise. And I mean, this one's pretty close, because I wonder if it's more greeny than blue. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna pull this one because I'm thinking it's more greeny than blue. And what other color do we have? The pink and the red. I don't have any red ones in this basket of goodies, but I do have pink. And the pink is like a bubblicious type of pink, and it's lighter than this, but I may pull this for a darker shade, because that pencil, I'm wondering if it's going to be lighter than my marker, so that we could use this for our darker shade. And so we got yellow, red, we don't have a red, and the darkest one is a greenish color, and this is too olive, so that's not going to work. I do not think I have a color that's going to work for that, so I'm just going to pull those because that's all I have. I'm just looking over in my jelly rolls real quick to see if I see anything. This would be a really good highlight color for the lighter turquoise green. It's a moonlight. It kind of looks mint, but it's kind of blue. So that would be a good one. And anything for the dark? Yeah, you could use this one for the dark one as a light tint for that. And this is a moonlight as well. I love the moonlight pens because you can see the different shades. This is a little bit darker, but you could get away with this. And the only color we didn't... Sorry about my son. He just came in the kitchen. Hold on just a minute, buddy. I'm just trying to think. Oh, the only color I was missing was a red. Let me see here. Sorry about that. I was just helping my son for a second. So I took that moonlight and put it back because I found this color in my big bag of the Langoose, and this one works perfect for the dark if I need to get into something finer. I didn't find anything red, the shade that I want. So, I mean, I have this one, which is a pretty big one, but it dries differently than the color of the cap. So I know that's not going to work. So we'll just stick with the red marker and the pencils and just kind of go from there and do the best we can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom up the video and kind of like a speed coloring, so to speak, of me coloring this picture. And then kind of when I'm starting to get closer to the end of the video, it may be finished, it may not be finished, but when I'm getting closer to, you know, I'm needing a break and stuff like that, I will come back and talk with you guys and do some coloring a little bit on screen with you in normal time, just talking about my process and stuff. I know a lot of people are curious about how I do certain things and how I come up with the colors I come up with and just my flow. I thought even if I didn't finish this one for this month, there's a little penguin right down here, and we have the November Mad Tea part in December, the Wild Year of Colors animal is the penguin. So it would fit for either November or December, depending on when I get it done. So yeah. And this page is called The Heart Quest. If you do want to color this with me, and you don't have to use this palette, you could use any palette you wanted. If you wanted to use this as like a color along, and you could color this with me, and then you could tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see your page. And it's in Steampunk Revival, the newest one of RJ Hampson, other than the winter one. The winter one's the newest one, but this is not winter themed. But yeah, we'll get started, and I hope you guys enjoy the speed coloring, and we'll go from there. So I thought I'd talk to you guys a little bit about what I'm doing here. So first I'm starting with the darkest color, do some outlining and stuff, because if you outline in gel pen, it kind of creates a barrier so your alcohol markers don't bleed out of the lines. And the colors, I notice when I put them down, they go darker and then they dry lighter. And then as it progresses, it just gets better and better the more I add to it. I was trying to use some white Prismacolor to kind of lighten this up a little bit. And yeah, this heart gave me a little bit of difficulty. But in the end, it turned out just fine. It just took some trial and error and using the different mediums that I showed you, just to try to make it work as well as I could. And the pencils I'm using are Prismacolor pencils, and they often leave a shine to the paper because of the wax. So that all the shiny bits that you can see, it's the wax bloom from the pencils. And if you want to remove that, if you get like a scrap piece of like cloth or something, say you have an old t-shirt you're throwing out, cut it up into scrap fabric and just take a little tiny bit and kind of rub against the Prismacolor, and it should dull down that wax bloom for you with remaining, not taking off the color. I saw that on someone else's channel and I thought that was kind of a cool idea. I think it was a crafting channel. So this part, I was trying to figure out what was mechanism, what was not, what was heart. Yeah, it was a little bit zentangly here inside, but I managed to figure it out. And I don't know how many times I went over these little dots just to get the color to show up, because the red that I used was so dark that it just kept on turning my dots different colors. So yeah, I wanted to kind of give the feel of the Queen of Hearts. And if you guys have seen the second movie, Through the Looking Glass, you'll know that in the second movie they have to do with clocks and mechanisms and gears and all that stuff, because they go and visit time and try to reverse time. So yeah, during this time while I'm coloring, I'm actually watching a movie at the same time. That way I could just color, get into my zone, and just go. And so that usually works out pretty well for me. I would do it in real time, but I looked at the time for the real time video, and the real time video, if I was to record the whole thing from start to finish, probably would have taken me 3.5 hours. So that's why I chose to do these little speed up clips, because we all know that time is really hard to come by, especially during the holidays. So I thought I would just do the best I could with these little clips. And after I work on this heart for a little bit, the next clip I will work on the rabbit because I have done everything else off camera. What had happened is I had to turn my camera off because my battery was dying, and I had to wait for it to charge. And while it was charging, I just had this unfinished project sitting in front of me. And so I just decided just to work on it until my battery was charged. And then once it was all ready to go, the only thing I had left really was the rabbit. So that works. So yeah, sorry, I keep saying so. Bad habit of mine, I guess. Yeah, I had chosen the rabbit for the Wild Year of Color, and I thought it was perfectly fitting for the November Mad Tea Party. And I think I've done a couple rabbits this go around, which is always a good thing. And the theme was Alice in Wonderland for my Coloring the Movies. For next month, if you haven't seen my Instagram post, for the animal, we are having the penguin because it's a nice wintry animal and it's fun and cute, and you can find it in a lot of books. And so I think it will be fun to see everyone's little penguins. And then for Coloring the Movies, I'm not going to be doing coloring the movies next year. I think it's just time to have a break from that. And so I decided for our final hurrah, we're going to do the movie Elf with Will Ferrell. It's usually pretty funny and people get a kick out of it, and everybody has an elf in a Christmas book, you know. And if not, there are elves in other books. Here I'm doing the rabbit. Like Christine Karen does a lot of elves and stuff. So there are ways that you could create an elf. And as you can see, I had various different markers and they all blended really well. If you can see in the corner, I had already colored the little penguin and he turned out really cute using just those turquoises and the yellows and kind of playing with the reds. I noticed when I add the red and I blended it in with the yellow, I could get different orange tones. And if I put the yellow on top of the teal, that gave a really nice color too. So I just played with different layers. If you see my roses right there, I actually used my yellow Langu to put some outlines on it to kind of give it a highlight color in yellow, just for fun. It's kind of fun to do a limited color palette because it makes you go out of your wheelhouse and try something new. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this and enjoyed the November Mad Tea Party this year. We had a lot of participants, and it was incredible that we got so many artists to contribute PDFs to our hashtag, and hoping we can get more contributions and more involvement next year. It will be tons of fun and stuff. And yeah, we just love seeing all your pages. I just couldn't believe how many pages people had done, and they were just incredible. The imaginations of people is just astounding. It really is. And I love how people think outside the box. And yeah, it's just incredible. As you can see, I'm using my white gel pen to kind of create some little fur texture hairs because he's supposed to be a white rabbit, but I needed some kind of color. If I would have had all my colors, I would have used like a French gray or something, but since I didn't have that option, I used the yellow, and I just went very lightly. And here I'm using the red on the jacket, And since I had that dark gray that I pulled for my extra color, I used that to do the shading in his jacket to give it more depth. And I don't know what's on his feet. I don't know if they're bandages or what. So I have them yellow, blue, and white. See, here's where I'm going in with the gray. And just so that I can get those shadows in. And I'm blending them out with the red pencil the best I can so that it doesn't just look like I outlined it. I try to blend in my colors as good as I can. Sometimes it's not perfect, but it's okay. I just go with the flow, and here I'm putting some yellow in the center to kind of make it pop a little more. Always get a brush for your Prismacolors. They tend to get debris. I think I do pull my blender marker. There it is right there, the blender marker. If you go over pencils with a blender marker, you can get it to blend it out a little bit better. And you should be able to get the wax bloom off as well if you use the blender marker over the top. Just make sure to clean off your marker tip before you use another color. You don't want it to muddy up another color. Here I'm just doing final touches with white. And here's my final page with the color palette to the side. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and let me know what you thought of the colors and how it all worked out. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a background, but this is all I had time for tonight. And thank you everyone for joining me in this hashtag.